Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500 and welcome back to the first day of the repair of Project Roxanne. We are going to get it clean first. It is absolutely minging inside and out. To start with, we have got it in the middle of the drive as it was on the walk around video, and I have just mixed up a 50-to-1 citrus wash in a 2-litre container, and I am going to use citrus wash for the first time. Citrus pre-wash, I should say. Do that, then we're going to snow foam it, and then we're going to give it a bit of a... I'm not even going to bucket and sponge it. I'm just going to use a citrus wash, jet wash that off. Going to put on the snow foam, and then that'll do for the time being. Obviously, it'll get a proper wash later. Let's do it. Let's set you up. Let's do it, and let's make a start on the repair. That looks better already. So as I say, I haven't gone mad. I've just done a pre-wash and a snow foam. Rinse both off, and then just gone over it with the old drying towel. Not gone mad, but it looks better already. At least it's clean now. It's got no protection on it by the looks of it. No wax or anything. So that'll be one of the first things to do once it's all finished. Of course, we'll get some protection on it. Well, this makes such a difference now. It's dried off a bit now as well. That citrus pre-wash is really good. Should have used that before. It's excellent stuff. It's got it really clean. Just with considering all I've done is a pre-wash and snow foam, and that's it. It's got it really nice and clean. It has got a little metallic tinge to it, you know. Just a little, very, very, very slight. So it probably is the same colour as. It's probably the same colour as that fake car bath that I had back last year, you know, the nightmare car. It's just very, very slight. It's not quite flat. It's a strange one. You look at it really close, it's just got a tiny, tiny little bit of metallic in it, but when you look at it, it just looks flat black. Different. Nightmare to keep clean. I personally wouldn't have a black car again, because they're just a nightmare. They look nice when they're clean. I noticed this as well after I cleaned it. I don't know, I don't think there's a bend, but I don't know whether that's, I can't feel any deformation in it. It's just a dig, so I'll have to rub that down, and probably won't need any filler. It's probably just paint, although it is quite deep, so it might do, but we do that when we do the bumper, not a problem. The bumpers, the bonnet is not closed, by the way, in case you wondered why it was sticking up like that. So I was going to hoover it out. Shall I hoover it out before I move it? I think I will actually. I'm going to just hoover it out. I've cleared all the rubbish out of it. I'm just going to hoover it out. Get rid of all the debris. But obviously it's going to have a major clean inside. Major clean. Is that a scratch? Oh yeah, quite a deep one. That'll have to be done as well. So you get the dirt off and you start seeing other things. So again, that will just be filled with paint and rubbed down and eventually polished. I'm buying a new polishing machine as well, because the one I've got which is the silver line one, is a polisher, but it's not a DA polisher. I am buying a DA polisher, and I'll show you that when I get it. Actually, I'm going to order it today on eBay because it's cheaper on eBay. It's a brand new one, but it is cheaper quite a bit cheaper on eBay than it is on Amazon or anywhere else for that matter. They sell it in Halfords as well, but it's much cheaper on eBay. So yeah. So there's going to be a few bits and pieces, isn't there? Is this a scuff here? No, that's just dirt still. That's good, but it needs a damn good polish. It will get a damn good polish as well. But looking good. Right, let's get this hoovered out, and then what I'm going to do for today, I'm just going to get it back down the driveway and then get the battery on charge. And I'll take the battery out and charge it, and then we can come back tomorrow, which will be part of this video, and we can get that bottom arm done. And hopefully we get that bottom arm done and the drop link, and that'll do it. I haven't unpacked it yet, but it's in that box there. And then hopefully we can drive it after that. And then at least we can take it out onto the road, turn it around and get it front down. Because I don't like having it that way round. I could have tried doing it now, but I think because of the way that wheel is rubbing, for the sake of another day, I don't think it's worth messing up the tyre. I've done that before. I've shredded a tyre because I was too impatient to wait for me to do the repair. I just don't like having it facing out when you've got a broken front facing out towards the road. It just draws attention to it. I suppose if I put the number, if the whole of the number plate was there, it wouldn't draw attention to it too much, but it's not. DRL, there's a nice one on there for 85 quid plus postage, so it's the best part of 100 quid, but it's a good decent one. And of course I need to get the tab kits as well, so that's going to be another 14 quid a set. That's another 28 quid, so it's all adding up, but we have got a budget of around 5,500 in total, because I'm expecting to get at least 3,500 for her lime green one, mint green, not lime green, mint green one, and then she said spend up to £2,000 on top of that. So we've got 5.5 budget. I'm not sure what we're up to at the moment, but we'll check. I'll let you know tomorrow actually, because I'll tot it all up. Because now I've got the car, I know what I've got to buy. So we'll do that. I'll let you know that tomorrow. So yeah, until tomorrow. Auf Wiedersehen. Okay, morning, welcome back. As you can see, I took a chance last night, or rather yesterday afternoon, and turned around the car. It was it was a bit of a nervous moment, and the tyre was rubbing, but I haven't done any damage to it. It's when the tyre's angled a little bit, it was rubbing, but as it... Bloody birds, shut up. But as it's like that, although it's obviously... It is virtually touching that. It was all right. You could hear it rubbing, but I was doing it really slowly, and it was fine. So I think the wing's coming today. I've had a message. I've ordered so many bits, I'm not quite sure, but I believe what's coming today is the wing. So excuse those crows up there having a good old chat with each other. So as you can see, the ground's soaking wet. It's been horrible this morning. It's 10 to 11 now, and I've just come out here because it's only really just stopped drizzling. But I wanted to try and get this done today, and get the front off to do it, because we've got to take the front bar off and so on and so forth. Not bar, the front extension leg. So I think we're going to get the bumper off first, and I will get the wing off as well, I think. Where's an air rifle? Yeah, let's do it. These sport wheel arch liners had 4 screws in, plus the one underneath, whereas the normal ones only have 2, and I couldn't see them. So I wasn't expecting that. So that damage we didn't know about at all, but that has taken an almighty whack down there. An almighty whack. I'm not sure yet whether it's done the bottom of the front panel. It may possibly have done, but the top of the front panel is absolutely fine. can't tell from here. I think it has. But I may be able to pull that back. Because I don't really want to replace this front panel, so I may actually be able to pull that out. Because if it's just the bottom bar that the radiator sits on, which I think it is, and going by the way that bottom bar is bent out, look at that. It has taken a whack. So there's me thinking all the damage was over this side. The damage over this side is worse. And I would say possibly that those bottom legs are going to need replacing, possibly. I don't really know at the moment. We'll see. Right, we're getting there. Got the old one off. It's, normally when these things are bent, you can't actually see it. But have a look at that. Look at the bend in that. Amazing. It's a little bit of a job to get out. It was more of a job to get that out, actually, which I often find. I don't use the joint splitters anymore. I just whack it with a hammer and use a jemmy to jemmy it out. I find it much easier, and I think having watched other mechanics, I say other mechanics, I'm not a mechanic, having watched mechanics do it, yeah, I've never seen one actually do it with a ball joint splitter. They all just hit it with a hammer. A lot easier to do if you're under the car, of course, properly, rather than it up on an axle stand. But we're getting there. I undid that, the drop link, and as you can see though, it's not actually bent. I think it was just where the strut was at an angle. It looked as if it was bent, but it's not. I did think it was a bit odd that it was bent, but which gives me a peace of mind that that's not bent either. And there doesn't appear to be any deformation at all to the subframe, which is very good news, because I was a bit worried about that. But yeah, it all seems fine. So that's good. So I think what we're going to do now is go make a cup of tea. And then we'll come back. Sun's out now, nice blue sky now, which is nice. And then we'll attempt to get the new one in. I always find it more difficult getting new ones in than I do to get the old ones out. I will be putting some grease in there. Washing up liquid and grease. What did I use last time? I can't remember. Did I use grease or did I just use washing up liquid? You know what? I can't remember. I think I'm just going to use washing up liquid actually, because I don't really want grease. I don't know if grease is the right thing to put on there. Let me know actually. Do you use grease or do you just use some washing up liquid for lubricant? Let me know what's the best thing to use. The one good thing about this being a 17 plate as opposed to a 10, 11, 12 plate is it's got 5 less years of gunk and rust, so that all the bolts came out quite easy, which is quite nice. Anyway, let's go make a cup of tea and then we'll come back, we'll get you up on time lapse again, we'll get the new one on, and then hopefully that'll be nice and straight then, and we can get it back down on its wheels, or on its temporary wheels. That's all done. Wasn't too bad at all actually. I just made another decision. Let me just show you down here. So as you can see, I've put that back on and it wasn't bent at all. It's in the right place. So I think we got away with that. Obviously the tracking's going to have to be done. But yeah, nice new one. All tightened up, just got to torque them up. I'm not going to torque those ones up just yet because I will have to loosen them again to line that up. Once if you loosen them a bit, and then you can sort of move it a little bit side to side. Yeah, this front panel. Now I've taken the bottom bar off, it allows me to see much more how much that's mangled. Look at it. You see it? It's pushed right in. I can't use that. I can't straight. I mean, I could possibly. It's annoying because it's not done at the top. I think I might get away with the condenser. I might do, and I will test. Once I've got this off, I will test the AC before I change it, because that is a massive expense. If you don't need to change it, you know, if she's going to have this car for ages, if at some point in the future she needs a new condenser, I can put one on. But the costs are rising. I think we're gonna go over budget. Budget, all in all, is £5,500, and I think we're going to go over. I mean, I've looked at front panels. I could use an old style front panel, but I'd rather not. I'd rather get a proper one, although there's not much different about them, but I don't know, because I have got one. Because as I say, the only thing that's different about them is the hole there, which you can get the new bars in. It's not a problem. And I think what I had to do before is, you've got these little locating studs. I think I had to cut those off, if I remember rightly, because it wasn't quite right to locate it, because it was sort of almost jemmying in the bar that's on the other side of that into the bigger hole. And as I say, it does fit in the smaller hole, but it just pushed those a little bit out of alignment, so I had to cut them off. I don't know what to do. I'm going to have to think about it, because there's other things that we got to get as well. I think we're going to save the grille. I've ordered a DRL, which was £100. I've ordered the light repair brackets. Oops. I've ordered those, so the headlights are okay. It's just the brackets, which is good. So I think we've got everything we need for the bumper, except, what have I done with it? These bits. So we've got this bit on the passenger side, but we haven't got one on the driver's side. That was gone. And I don't think it was on the bit that was on the car. It's this bit, isn't it? Oh, hang on. Oh, we got that bit, but we haven't got the fins, the bit with the fins on it. So if we can find the part number for that, we may only have to buy that bit. You can bet your life it comes as a complete thing, and you can imagine how much that is from Fiat, can't you? And of course we've got to get a Fiat arch liner as well, so that's a nuisance. So all of these things all add up. 2 new tyres, which are probably going to, she said, oh, I'm keeping it to get the best, but I think we're going to put part ones on it for the time being. Certainly once we've again, you know, further down the line she can put new ones on it if she wants to, but I think I can get part warns for 30 quid, whereas a half decent brand new one is more than twice that. So I can get 2 tyres for 60 quid as opposed to around the 150 mark for 2. So it's yeah, at the moment we'll see. I won't get those just yet, we'll see, because we can put the other wheels on for the time being. But I've got to order the bottom bar because I haven't got one of those. Again, that's more expensive. They're really expensive. They're like 40 odd quid each or more. £46 I think I paid for them. Don't know why they're so expensive. I used to get them for like 15, 20 quid. The top bar I got a result which was 30 quid. We'll reuse the foam bit. I'll just glue that together. Yeah, if we can get away with reusing the condenser, then that will save not only the cost of the condenser, which isn't massively expensive. I can't remember what they are now. As I say, I've got one, but the £150 for regassing it as well. So it all depends on whether it works or not. It's not particularly bent as such. It's just pushed in a little bit. I've reused ones that are in a much worse condition than that. That's the wing off. That was a job and a half, that was. So it wasn't the original wing. Whoever it was that has changed this wing, I think it's when I say original, it's a replacement wing. I think the one that came off of it that I've just taken off was a genuine wing. Don't think it was a third party one, but it wasn't the original wing, if you see what I mean. Whoever it was that put it on has obviously didn't have any seam sealer, so they've used Tiger Seal, and they put loads of Tiger Seal around the bolts, especially the one down there, and that was a job and a half to get off. Oh my god, it's like a mechanic purposely rounding off a nut for the next mechanic. Whoever did that, Jesus. I think what they did, because look at the thickness of it. Look, this is the stuff that I've just had to take off. Look, so that was sort of there. Great big thick. It was about like 2 inches thick. So I reckon what they've done is they've run a great big bead of Tiger Seal and they've bedded the wing onto it. Which probably, I suppose, is a good way of doing it, but unfortunately not how I would want it to do it. I know a lot of body shops don't even use the seam sealer. Once the new wing's on, they don't even use it, because if you don't take the old seam sealer off, then you're putting it on not in the correct position back to front, and you're never going to get it in the right place. So you need to get that off. I mean, I could run a bead. That's not how I do it. I put the wing on and then I run the seam sealant, and I don't put it on anywhere near the bolts. It's just stupid. This is always a danger when you buy these cars and they've been crunched at the side like that. You really don't know whether it's done any other damage that the insurance assessors haven't seen, because all they do is look at photographs, or depending on if a garage look at it for the insurance company, which is obviously sometimes they'll take bumpers off and stuff like that because they're put back on loose. So unless they're going to have a good look at things like that, you wouldn't ever know. And do they actually even do it anyway? Maybe they do when it's a Cat S, but with a Cat, yeah, that's a Cat N. Anyway, I've got the wing, so I'm going to unpack that, and hopefully, when I ordered the paint today, I said to the lady that it's Alison that paints for you. I said, yeah, actually in this light you can see it more. There is a very slight. She said, yeah, there's mica in it. I thought that was a singer. So yeah, now I'm looking at it more. It is a slight metallic. So let's hope that the wing that I'm just about to unpack and put on it's going to be the same. Sure, I don't think there is a completely flat black. I thought this was the flat black, but I think, I'm not sure what year that's come off of. I think it was a facelift one, so it's more likely to be this colour. Hopefully. If it's not, then we'll have to do something about that as well. So the wing is on, as you can see. It's not a very good wing. It's got lots of scratches on it. I've gone over it with waterless wash and wax and it still looks bloody awful. I'm sure that's not what it looked like in the picture. But if I have to paint it, I have to paint it. Preferably not, but now it's on the car, I'll leave it on the car to paint if I have to do that. It may need a bit of blending into it anyway, depending on what the bumper looks like. Hopefully not, but we'll see. But we're not going to know all that until such time as we come to do it anyway. So at the moment, we've got a straight wing, which is on, which is the main thing. And the most pressing thing was to get that done. So I can actually move the car properly. Obviously tracking's going to be out, but we'll cross that bridge. But we seem to have got away. There's nothing else wrong down there as far as we can see. It all looks straight. Once the wheel's on and we're able to actually drive it, we'll know for certain, of course, but at least the wheel is in the correct position now, which is great. So okay, where was I? Yeah, sorry about that, battery ran out. So yeah, as I say, that was the main thing to get done, and I can then drive it. So obviously the tracking will need doing. That would no doubt be out, so that would be something that'd be another 40 quid I have to spend. It's just it's mounting up, unfortunately, and we're going to be, I don't know how much over budget, but I don't know how much over budget we're going to be. But it's going to be over budget. If it's 500 quid over budget, it's 500 quid over budget. It's still a cheap car. Yeah, so that's where we are. So I'm going to finish this video here, and then we'll continue on day 2. We'll be hopefully we'll get hold of a front panel, and we can get it on. And once we got a new front panel on and the rad changed and so on, then we'll be steaming well ahead then. So yeah, so we'll call it a day on this video, day 1. Hope you've enjoyed it. A lot more work than I thought, unfortunately, but still a good car, and it will be, obviously once it's done, it will be a great little car, and a facelift, and a low mileage one, and it'll be nice and shiny once it's all done and clean inside. Next video, depending on the weather and depending on whether we can find a front panel in time, will be the front. Failing that, it will be the interior. We'll get the interior cleaned. I'm dying to get that cleaned anyway. I will take the seats out because the carpet is minging, so I want to clean the carpet as well as clean the seats. And again, I'll probably put the seats in my conservatory to dry. We've got to sort out something on that seat. We don't know what we're going to do about that yet with a rip. It's one way or the other, it's got to be done. So she can still drive it, I suppose. You know, if I say, look, we'll find a seat and we'll change it, or we'll change the interior completely and sell the rest. But for now, you know, just drive around in that. I'm sure she'll be happy with that. And then we can be finishing off sorting out a lime. I keep calling it lime green. A green car. I'll just call it a green car. We'll sort out a green car and get that sold, and we'll try and see if we can get more than 3,500. It is worth more than that. I'll see if I can get 3,750 for it. That'd be cool, because I've got to spend a bit of money. Only painting, I think, and a set of sensors for the back, because they're not working. So we need a new set of those. Anyway, that will be on a completely separate project, completely separate video. That'll be Project Minty, if you remember. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed day 1. I've got a bad back. Hit on the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, please give us a thumbs up. See you next week. So until then, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.